Hi there, this is a review on the G-Works Gas Saver Plus. This is a nice little gadget I bought on Amazon for about $39. And what this does, it allows you to transfer fuel from one canister to another by connecting both of them. And it's really nice, high quality. It's got a nice little valve, it flips over. And it also has what they call the G-vent, this small little hole right here. And when you press that side button, you can actually release some pressure from the receiving canister, the canister on the bottom, to allow it to accept more liquid fuel from the top canister. So that's all there is to that. Again, just two Lindell type valves or threads to connect two canisters. And what I'm going to do here for a little demonstration, I've got a 16-ounce can of Jetboil isobutane fuel. This is 80% 80% isobutane, 20% propane, and I'm also going to use a small canister to receive the same type of fuel. This one's almost full, so it's got a good amount of pressure in it. I'd say maybe 90% full. I've been using this to top off some other cylinders. And I found the best way to do it is to actually chill the canister in the freezer for maybe 5 or 10 minutes. Just to make it easier for the fuel to transfer from one canister to the other. Because once the pressure equalizes between the both canisters, you really can't continue. So I have one in the freezer right now. We'll go ahead and try to top that off. Now this is also a Jetboil canister, net weight 100 grams. The gross weight, right off the shelf, is 205 grams. So we'll see how much we have right now. 188 to start, so 188 grams, so that's 12 plus 5. So we need 17 grams, excuse me, to top this off to 205 grams total. So basically all you do, thread on the first canister, receiving the fuel. The top canister is transferring the fuel. And you'll hear a little hiss there. Basically all you do is just open the valve. You can hear that. Okay. Now, it usually doesn't take long to top them off. We'll see how much we have in here. We're at 193, 194. So we need a bit more. Maybe about 10 grams. You want to be careful not to overfill it, just for safety. So I do it in small stages, just to be sure. Wow, that's a little higher. 212. The gross weight is 205. Now, that's funny because 212 grams is exactly what I see, written on the side of the MSR canisters. For some reason, the Jetboil ones are slightly lower. I'm not sure if the cans seem to be the same size. So I'm not really sure what's going on there, if they just underfill them for some reason. So, if that does concern you, I'm, 7 grams over. You can, I should probably do this outside, but you could either run your stove a little bit just to bring it back down to the safe weight, or even using this little adapter here. You can blow some of the fuel out. Let's see where we're at there. 211. So still have some ways to go. I got a little crazy with it there. I should have stopped earlier, but again, I really don't think it's unsafe. I mean, if you're worried about it, you can just continue to vent the gas out. But in my opinion, a few grams over isn't a big deal. And these are even built with a concave bottom, which will actually pop out if it does get, the pressure gets too high in here. So let's say you grossly overfilled it and then you have it in your car and it gets hot. That bottom could pop out. I doubt it's going to explode unless you really overfilled it, but I'm not sure that's even possible. With this system here. Anyway, do it in small stages to try to be safe and try to hit that the gross weight of the canister where you bought it off the shelf, 205 grams. Really nice little adapter here. I love this thing. This kind of got me back into canister stoves. For a while I went back to, or started using an alcohol stove, which is nice because you can measure out the exact amount of fuel that you need for a trip, and you can see how much is left, opposed to these canisters where you're shaking it, trying to listen to it and guess, or floating it in water. That's BS. I mean, how do you know really how much is in there? You know, you might think you have 50%, but after another day you end up eating a cold meal or not having coffee the next morning or two because you ran out of fuel. So this way it's nice because you know you can top off your canisters using these two right here. I've been refilling these or actually just topping them off. I'll take them on a trip and use maybe half of them, half of the canisters. I can bring it home, top it off. It's not just the money savings. Like I said, being able to go out with a full canister and you know how much fuel you have. It's nice to start with 100%. And just to show this little G vent, I'm not really sure it's necessary. They say, you know, it's when you're hitting that button, you're venting air and vaporized fuel from the tank, just from the bottom one. So when you set this back up, if you do find that the fuel isn't transferring, you can hit that button. But just to show you I'm not lying, you are venting vaporized fuel from this bottom canister. So how much are you really losing in the process to get the liquid fuel to flow back into the bottom one? I really don't know. So I don't really mess with that valve. I just put this in the freezer to make sure it's nice and cold. Make sure this one's room temp or even a little higher. You can put it by your heat register for a couple minutes or whatever you feel is safe, just to warm it up slightly above room temperature, and that helps the fuel to transfer from the top to the bottom much more efficiently. So there you have it. Like I said, I bought this on Amazon. It was I think $35 or $39 for the plus version with the vent. If you feel like you don't need that, you could buy the cheaper version, the standard version. I think it's around $25. But for $10 or so, you have the peace of mind to have that little vent. You feel like you may use it eventually. So there you have it.